KARE 11 breaking news now.
Thank you for joining us at 5 on air and streaming. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos.
And I'm Kevin Holmes. We are following breaking news as we come on the air out of MSP Airport. Flights are starting to get back in the air after an FAA equipment outage brought the airport's activity to a grinding halt.
That outage lasted nearly 2 hours, but will certainly have ripple effects all over the country. Ian Russell's at the airport right now tracking the fallout. However, Chris Harapsky kicks off our team coverage with what we're learning about exactly what happened. Chris?
Yeah, Rena, Kevin, we still don't know exactly the cause of these outages. I can report that MSP says some airlines are starting to resume operations. That's good news. And 4 minutes ago, literally, we got this statement from the FAA. They say, quote, the FAA briefly paused flights into and out of Minneapolis air route traffic control centers airspace. It's a mouthful. Due to telecommunication issues, services have been fully restored and flights are returning to normal. The FAA is investigating the cause, end quote. Here's a look at flight radar across the U.S. And you can see, well, if you zoom out, you'll see this hole in the upper Midwest there of the flights that were not in the air for the last 2 hours. It looks like some are back up and running. Again, that is good news. Still, just as we got a comment from the FAA, its website for air traffic status is still down. You can see it's unavailable. Coincidentally, there are a number of other internet service outages being reported elsewhere. Down Detector is a website that monitors these things. You can see a spike in user reports of outages for Verizon and Arvig, which is an internet provider in the Midwest. The outages, if you see the map there, are centering around the Twin Cities. So, the good news, it appears some airlines are resuming flight activity out of MSP. The bad news, it remains unclear what caused these outages and just how extensive they are. Rena?
All right, Chris, thank you.
No doubt a ripple effect. The ground stop, no doubt having an impact on anyone trying to get to and from the airport tonight. Ian Russell continues our team coverage tonight. Ian, what are you seeing right now where you are?
Yeah, well, Kevin, I'll tell you, honestly, things look about as normal as they could be right now. When you look at the crowds that are here, I think it's honestly just about what a normal midweek sort of evening takeoff thing here at the airport would look like. You know, that ground stop here at MSP, as Rena said, about 2 hours, hour and some change there. But talking to some folks through here, they told me they really didn't notice that much. Some folks told me, you know, hey, I noticed that my flight was delayed a little bit, but not a ton. When you look at the departure boards, really the only things being affected right now are some of those flights in the Great Lakes region. So think Chicago, Madison, type of that area there. And as Chris was mentioning there, it sounds like this MSP spokesperson telling us some of this could have came from an FAA equipment center in the region that was dealing with some issues. I did actually just talk with a former commercial airline pilot with decades of experience who told me that, you know, he's seen these regional ground stops before, but usually they're due to things like weather. But he did stress to me that the FAA has really old, outdated equipment that's all being pushed to modernize it right now as part of this bigger push to update some of their air traffic control equipment. So, you know, obviously a big deal to have this ground stop, but things do look about as normal as they really could here at the airport right now. Obviously, if you have a flight tonight, check with your airline, make sure everything's okay, make sure nothing's delayed there before you head out this way. But for the most part, things look about as normal as they would, I think, normally here, guys.
All right, Ian, thanks for the update. Appreciate it.